Hey everyone, welcome to Collector Chatter. I'm your host Miguel here, my co-host Charlie, and in this segment of the episode, we are going to cover NFTs, the latest Kellogg's drop, and we want to kind of talk about just the state of NFTs in general.
So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Now let's talk about Funko NFTs.
All right, now we're going to get into the NFT portion, and we're going to talk about a couple things here when it comes to NFTs. One, we do want to kind of just recap this latest NFT drop, which latest Funko NFT drop, which if you guys didn't know was Kellogg's, the Kellogg's brand, which we thought was really cool because it's kind of branching into the ad icon style that Funko is very, very, known for. They make a lot of ad icon pops. But now we're getting some, and they even make a lot of sodas.
Yeah.
But now we're getting them in an NFT form, which is cool. But they did something interesting. They didn't just make it a very wide range of that. They made it a specific brand, and it was Kellogg's, which we know we got a lot of different cereal ad icons specifically. I thought it was really cool because it was a lot of OG looking ones.
It
and
was.
it was a mix of stuff. When it comes to some that you don't really necessarily think of, you might know the big ones like Tony the Tiger, obviously, but some of these other ones were not as popular. They made into NFTs. So what was your thought overall, just off the bat with the line? And this was a smaller line. So if you guys didn't know, the amount of cards was less, the packs was less. And then even the characters, it seemed like they were a little bit less because we were getting a lot of the same character, maybe in a different version, common, uncommon, etc.
Totally.
Versus getting a lot of different characters.
Which I personally liked. Like this set, first of all, I'm a huge fan of it. And it's weirdly gotten me. I was actually talking to my cousin about this, that I kind of want to start collecting some of the ad icons of pops of things I like. Like before, I was just like, never really got into that line because it's so huge. I have like Charlie the Tuna, and that's really it because my wife had gone for me. One, I'm Charlie, and Tuna was my fraternity name, my pledge name. So, but I love that it was just Kellogg's too. We'll probably get a General Mills one. It's their way of like spreading out, like being able to have different drops.
Yeah.
But it also makes the fact that it's smaller makes it, and I mean, people out there are nuts, which we'll get into later, but it makes it more obtainable to get the royalty one without you having to like drop like tons and tons of money. Like you can get, I was lucky enough to get 2 premium packs during the drop, not on the aftermarket. Let me rephrase that. My wife was lucky enough to get them. I actually I made her make an account for me because how it's for her. So it's been going insane to get these. So she logged on, I logged on. I had like over an hour wait, basically never changed. Finally got to like 45 minutes. All of a sudden she's like, oh my God, like it says 7 minutes. I'm like, you're going to get them. Which crazy enough got in and basically got them, and then they sold out. So the NFTs are still obviously super popular. And I don't think it matters what the line's going to be. Like, I mean, I know you started off asking me what I thought of this line. I really like, I do like it. I think it's different. It's original. And you talk about like some of the ad icons, like I got a legendary. I actually pulled a few legendary. So if you haven't watched me rip open those packs, go look at that video. But it was Sugar Pops Pete, I think was his name. Sugar Pops Pete. And like, I'm like looking at this, like, I don't really know who this icon is, and I'm like, okay, he was the icon for corn pops, which like I used to like those when I was a kid, but like they used to be called sugar pops, which are like I didn't really realize this. I'm not like a huge cereal fan or like someone who's like knows all about like the legacy of them, these big iconic ones that basically every Kellogg cereal used to say back in the day, like sugar this, sugar that. So that was the original. I didn't even know corn pops had an icon, like a mascot.
Yeah, I didn't either. That's what I was saying.
Because I started researching it, and then like there's another person who was like, I think a big yellow. He has like a big yellow hat. Like he was also he's not a redeemable. He's like, but he also was one of the mascots for Sugar Pops. Like it was. I like learned.
There's that pop exists. I do know that
it does exist. Yes. So like that's another thing I liked about it. I actually like learn something by like researching the characters that were the NFTs. I personally, the nerd I am, found cool.
Yeah, no, I thought it was super cool because just seeing like what you can pull was interesting because like I said, you knew the Tony the Tigers, you knew like the big ones, but
Yeah.
like I think the other legendary guy was Cornelius, right? Is that
Cornelius.
from
Yep.
Cornflakes or something? Is that who
Cornflakes.
he is?
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Which I think that still is like the mascot for Cornflakes.
Yeah, he's like a
But
rooster or
yeah.
something, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So that was cool. But then they also had like the retro Tony the Tiger and then the
Exactly.
regular Tony the Tiger. So there was, but what I was saying in the beginning of like where I said that there wasn't as many like ad icons. They just made multiple versions of them though, because you've seen like and obviously they're NFTs. So like ultimately there's going to be more NFT cards than there are redeemable pops, right?
Yes.
So like they need to obviously make these redeemable, like these actual NFT cards, like animate differently and look different and the colors. And if you guys have seen any Funko NFTs, you notice that they do have a trend where they'll have a color version. Sometimes they have a black and white one. Sometimes they'll have like a neon one. Yeah, like all different styles. And they're usually every pack that will have like a version or essentially. And then you'll get the Max Token Head one, which is always thrown in there, and then the Freddy Funko one, which I do think it's interesting, but I don't know if I like the fact that they'll do a normal version of the Freddy, like this, he's the Smacks one, right?
Yep.
And then that's also the redeemable royalty. Like I feel like that shouldn't happen. That's the only thing I'm a little like, and like if it's the royalty, it should only be the way you get it is through that, and you can't get like the NFT version of him, basically.
I actually completely agree with
common.
you, especially when you're ripping open packs. Like I mean, if you aren't familiar, like you can tell the most animated one that's like the legendary, and you see the coin like spinning around, it says redeeming, but like all of the legendary slash grails and most of the lines, like they have uncommon cards, and you like open it, you're like, oh my god, I got one of those.
Yeah,
like,
right away.
It's just a common. It's not like I don't. I agree with you. I don't think they should do that for any of them, not just the royalty. Like that character should be only for that card and call it a day. And like it should be even more special that is the only reason. Like I'm just thinking about the DC drop. Like there's tons of Batmans. Like Gaslight Batman was the legendary. You didn't need to have that Batman at all throughout the series.
Then. Yeah, that specific one. Yeah, exactly. So, but overall, like if you guys didn't get on, so so I was getting ready to go on. So if you guys don't know, these have been dropping. So we're in the East Coast. They drop at 2 p.m. our time. It's 11 a.m. West Coast time. So I know that there was a change in NFTs. I think they were a different day before, right? And then it changed.
They've been Tuesdays, but for some reason the DC one was on a Thursday.
Okay, that's the one that had changed. Okay, yeah. So the rest of them have been Tuesdays. That's what it was. So they've been around the same, that time, Tuesdays, whatever. I have an issue with that in the sense of like, I feel like personally these things should be dropping earlier in the day.
Yeah, I agree.
Like it should be like a 9 a.m. West Coast. Maybe might be too early, but even 9 I think would be okay. And then make it like a 12 o'clock, time for over here in the East Coast or whatever. So like, I don't know, being that 2 o'clock, it's like, I just feel like not that like it's an excuse like, oh, obviously if you're working or you're doing whatever, like it's going to be hard. That's how any drops are with Funko or anything. Like I'm okay with the fact that things drop all throughout the different times of the day, but I do think that that's not the best. But either way, I still was thinking about it. I was going to get them. I was going to try. I was going to go on, like, and I know we talked about it before, and then completely lost track of time. And I was out, and I was like, my family, we were shopping and getting stuff at the store, and I go and I look, and it's 2:12 or 2:15 or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to be able to get these. Went on just to see, and it said like over an hour. So as soon as I saw that, I knew based off of the DC drop, when you see that, you're not going to get anything. And then within a few minutes later, it was gone. So it did sell out pretty fast. We knew it was gonna for a few reasons. One, obviously the hype is still always there. Two, it was a smaller line. So just in general, like, it was gonna sell fast. The Batman one sold pretty fast, and that one was a huge amount of packs. So this just made sense that it would sell fast. Pretty popular still. Kellogg's ad icon people are out there, but I think it's more the fact of the resale market. And I know you want to get into this, but I know that like these things are popular and people know that, and it's now to a point where it's one of those items that people will purposely go on to make sure that they grab these so they solely can resell them. And not to get, we don't want to get into like a, you know, a reseller thing. Are they good or are they bad? Because we've actually talked about this.
Mm,
We've had like an episode like this, and I'm on
we
the
have.
fence on both sides. Like I see the aspect of it, I see how it helps the collecting, I can see how it hurts the collecting. Like I really do see both sides. So I'm not gonna get into that. But just the fact that like this is now where we're at when it comes to NFTs is kind of sucks, especially if you're just purely a collector, because obviously when these people get them, they're not selling them to help you out and sell it to you for what they bought it for. They're selling it to make a buck, and you know, good for them if that's what they do. But the biggest problem we think, and it's how they're getting these right now.
Yes.
Do either of us or anybody else know for sure how these people are doing this and what they're doing? Like, no, but can we make a pretty good educated guess? Probably.
Yes.
And it's like this with anything. I've talked about my collecting experience in the past and being big into sneakers, and like when it came to Jordans and Yeezys and things like that. And I know to this day that these things exist. Bots have been the main reason people get these
Bots.
things.
Yes.
And I have a friend who literally was telling me like, oh yeah, one of my friends has a bot for Nike or whatever it is, and then whenever there's a drop, he instantly gets things in his cart and he gets it for whatever price, and then he'll sell it to his friends. Sometimes he sells it to him for the actual price because he's good friends with them,
Yep.
but he always knows he'll get something. So when it comes to anything internet based, essentially, and buying through websites and stuff, we know bots exist. When it comes to Funko, we've known this from the longest time. When it comes to, you know, con pops and these exclusive pops and people getting multiple ones when you can't even get in, that's when it gets a little messy. And when it comes to NFTs, it's happening more and more often. And yeah, I mean, me and Charlie are in
Yeah.
groups, you know, soda groups and stuff. And what was the first thing I sent you? Like that first thing I told you, I was like, bro, these NFTs just dropped. And literally within minutes, someone was selling
They're
20
selling them
packs
for
or
40.
whatever they
It's
had,
ridiculous.
like instantly, which obviously in their mind meant, oh, got them, now I can sell them. Versus like if it was me and Charlie, it's like, oh, I got them, can't wait to open them up and record a
Exactly.
video.
And that's yeah, it drives me insane. And not only the bots, people have found ways to skip the queue. They've found ways to hack it, to skip the queue, where you automatically, when you go to like join the queue, it brings you straight to the checkout. And obviously I hate bots, but this really, really bothers me as a form of bot. And then especially I saw, which like kind of like genuinely broke my heart, and I wanted to just throw my phone, that people that I really respect within the community were sharing their skip a queue links to people. Now, I mean, in your mind, you could be like, oh, they're being nice and they're sharing it to the community, but that just ruined it for everyone. Then, if you were able to find that link at that time, they actually pulled them down, which, because I'm actually shocked that this person did this, because like they had, in my opinion, a lot to lose. They have a really good reputation. And all of a sudden, I noticed when that went on, it made the line sell out even quicker.
Yeah.
And that to me is just super messed up, especially knowing kind of what Meg just said. 9 out of 10 people, we don't want to turn this into a reseller versus like collector, but they're just going to go flip them. And
Yeah.
that's all they care about. Like even the moment after, it's like, okay, you missed out on them, let's give you a 50% upcharge on the packs. And it's just like, I get some people like want to make a quick buck, but it's just, I don't know.
Yeah. It's a weird, like, it's a double-edged sword, because it's like you understand, like you said, like, you know, you're selling it to sell it, whatever, like good for you. But it's like kind of just the ways that people are getting things is just kind of where it's just like unethical, and it's whatever, and it's going to continue to happen, I'm sure. And like we're going to have to keep dealing with it. So like you're not going to see us sitting here and like just, you know, pouting over every week, because we know it's a pain in the ass. But like we just want to bring attention to like some of this is a little messed up. And like Charlie said, like the whole link thing, I thought was just kind of too over the top, where it's like, come on, like, you know, and a lot of these pages, like they have been super helpful, and they're super helpful to me when it comes to
Yes,
links.
of
And like, I'm
course.
sure you guys know a bunch of these pages, and obviously these pages will if they see there's a drop and you go into the link tree or whatever they use, and then they give you a link directly to whatever it is, that's awesome. And I don't see a problem with that. Like if there's a
No,
drop
that's
when
helpful.
something's coming out, you got a link and it brings you directly to the website. It just gets you to the website or the item quicker. You still got to go in. You still got to, sorry, you still got to go in. You still got to cash out. You still got to put in your information. Like that's normal. That's fine. But that wasn't what this was. It wasn't just like, here's the link. Because there are pages that I know that do
Yes.
this too. Like, here's the link to the drop. Make sure you go in now. The queue's open. Right. People will do that. So, like, that's fine. But it wasn't that. They're like these links that basically they were essentially saying, like, you click on this, you're cashing out. Like, you're jumping the line. This whole queue doesn't even exist to you now. And I know this time, this drop, the queue, they switched it up a little bit, which normally it opens up like an hour before, around that time, whatever. And I know, it says it on the site. I know the pages quote this every single time, and it says queue is open. But when you get in there, that's not what your spot is. When thing actually opens, you're still randomized. So I always thought when that was the whole thing, I thought it was weird to have the queue, because I was like, so what's the point of having the queue if it's going to get randomized anyways? But I understood the fact that, like what Charlie said, I'm sure,
Yep.
like when you were working, whatever, like it's a good way to kind of just have it open and already be ready
And you're
to
in.
then jump into the timed queue, which is like how long it's going to take you to cash out, which is totally fine. That's the system that NFT, well, Funko and digital drop and all that, that's what they use. That's fine. We're all in that same boat. But if you can skip that and just go in like if it was a normal drop and you're just buying it, that's obviously an advantage that you have. I just wonder how many people did that and were able to, like, are like us, where you're like hardcore collectors and you did it and you got lucky enough to get pop or NFTs, versus the ratio of people that did that so that they can get more packs to sell. And I feel like that number's higher.
It's definitely higher. And I've actually now noticed, like, oh my God, this is how people I watch videos of get so many packs. Like, if you want to go buy tons of packs, like after the fact, like that's your prerogative. If you want to like
Mhm.
pay all those resell, like those, up charges, like that's totally fine if that's what you want to do. But I'm like, I've always noticed in people, I'm like, dude, how are you like making a video on your
Yeah,
channel day
minutes
of
after, day
with
of,
all
hours
these
after.
packs? It's just
Yeah.
not possible. It's not possible doing it in an ethical way.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not.
Yeah.
And
And like,
then,
even like Charlie said, like he has an account, his wife has an account. All right, cool. So they both have an account. And look, one got in, one didn't.
yeah,
Because that'll happen. Like, because they're just literally jumping into a queue and trying to get in, they're randomized. But like for you to like drop suddenly, that you have 20 packs when the max that you can get is what, 2 premium
two,
packs, let's say,
yeah,
and you have like 10 premium packs and 15 standard packs, and the thing just came out, you, unless you're crazy fast, there's no way you went around and just bought those off of people. I don't
no.
think so.
And then people have the balls to be like, oh man, I really miss the days when I can get 100 packs. I was only able to get
Jeez.
30 this time. I'm like, you're and then I'm just sitting here over the corner like, oh, I'm lucky I got two.
Yeah.
It's
And I'm like,
just,
yeah, I didn't get in. So like, and
I'm
that
just
happens
curious
to a
what
lot of people.
Funko, I mean, I know at the end of the day, Funko is
Funko doesn't
making money.
care,
They don't
bro.
care.
That's what it's
I
gonna
know.
happen. I don't think they're gonna care. I don't think they're gonna do anything. This is the same. This happens a lot. It's not just with NFTs. It happens with everything else, and it has never changed. And like, I just know that at the end of the day, they're gonna continue to say that they're gonna try to fix things. They actually, so when I brought up the queue, the reason why I brought it up is because supposedly a fix that they were gonna have for the whole bot thing
Yep.
was that they didn't want to do this queue open up right away. They were gonna kind of randomly just open the queue, and it ended up being like 15 minutes before, so they wanted to do it closer to give people, the option, whatever, which I think it kind of hurt more people getting in and out that normally would kind of take
Yes.
their time to get into there. But I obviously don't think it really helped with the actual bots, especially if there's ones being generated that bring you straight into a queue, or
I don't
not
think it
to
did
straight into a
anything.
cart. Like, Funko has to have some, or drop, because it's probably more through them, like some kind of security or secure thing that like can like fix that. But I mean, I don't know, maybe they never will, and this is just kind of what we're gonna have to deal with. Like, I'm at the point now that I'm just like, I'm probably not gonna get too many more NFT packs because I'm probably not gonna be able to. Not that I don't want them, but I'm kind of like at that point now, and it's like it's just gotten, it's still fun because it's still cool to see the packs. It's still cool to try to open them here and there, but like I'm not as hardcore as Charlie is already, in the sense of like where he does like, collecting the royalties and trying to make the whole line and complete it. So he'll go out there through his groups and stuff and buying them. But just, I guess, as a tip, if you guys are into that, don't buy them now. Wait till the things die down. They always
Yeah,
all do die down. The prices will go down. You'll be able to get these little by little to build your sets. Just don't get caught up in the FOMO of like, wow, I want to try to get all these packs, because that's when you're going to spend the most money. Because as soon as these things drop, people are spiking the prices immediately, and then they will drop. So
they will. It's just funny though too. Just another thought I had that I just want to, pick your brain on, which just makes this so different for as a Funko product versus anything else of like reselling them, or like I feel like the NFT resellers at this point are taking advantage though of certain people. Where it's like if you're able to get like a really hard pop, it's a physical item, you know what you're gonna get. And when you spend that extra money, you at least know you're getting it, and you probably just need that one for your collection. I've noticed like they're really like preying on like almost I want to say gambling addicts in a weird way, where like
well, I mean, opening up packs is
it is,
it's like
it's
that.
like,
It's a chance, it's a risk, it's a
which is what makes it exciting. But like I just see people, it's just like, oh my God, I like can't fathom paying like $100 for a pack of like 5 cards that only cost $9.99, and you could open that pack up and then it's worth cents.
yeah,
That is never going to happen when you
literally.
buy an actual Funko Pop. And it's not even part of like who I'm a believer in the future and the investing of NFTs, but like that's like a little different. Like what that floor price is telling you right now for like I collect some like I just recently got a Darth Vader NFT, for example. It was a blind box of 3 different versions, but you knew you were getting Darth Vader, and like the way it's done on this app called VV, like you got to try to get them immediately. It's not a queue. It goes for sale. You press that button. You can it either works for you or it doesn't. And it's sold out. It legitimately happens in seconds. And then at least you know what that NFT you pulled. It's not like cards or this collection, and you know what you were getting and then what it's
Yeah.
worth. Those packs, you don't know. It's like it's also just different in the NFT world versus other NFTs. It's like like you've spent this money. It's like some of these are worth
Yeah.
nothing. I do think they'll be worth more money eventually. Like I look at it as, don't forget, people, like you bought that pop like 10 years ago for like $8.99, and now some of them are worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Like I do think we'll get there, but it's just that's what's just so crazy about this whole NFT Funko that they did them in cards. Like they could have done like what I'm saying right now of how I bought this Darth Vader NFT. They could be like, okay, we're coming out with a new Freddy Funko NFT. We're dropping it
Yeah.
just
Instead of
like we
being a
drop.
pack of
Yeah,
multiple cards that you didn't know what,
it's just
what's in there.
interesting. It's just like gonna like for
It's
people who
definitely a
are
smart
it's
marketing thing for them to
it
get after the
is.
people that like the chase and the thrill, and like, and that's why I like, I mean, I'm a perfect example. Like
Of course.
that's the main reason why I like, because it's like I look at it like, oh, it's a me scratching a lottery ticket and having a chance at winning a redeemable Funko Pop, because I collect the
Yep.
physical Funko Pop. So like that's how I've always been as an NFT. But like I think they're cool, and I think like I get it, like the whole card aspect and getting multiple cards. But that's also why I don't go crazy buying more and more and more, because I know that that's just what I'm looking for. But they know
Exactly.
that there's people that are gonna itch to get that next one and get more. And like, yeah, people are paying ridiculous amount of money for packs that, like Charlie said, you can open up a pack, let's say 5 cards, and all 5 cards could be worth 5 cents, 1 cent, even. Like there's cards like
Yeah.
that, they're that low. And like the the actual odds are that that's what they're going to be worth versus the
Yeah.
lower odds of getting anything else. So like it is kind of a nutty like collection in general. Like if you don't know anything about NFTs or anything like this, and you explain it to someone like, oh, there's these packs and you do this and this, people are gonna like, what are you talking about? That's like, why do you do that? But I get what you're saying with the whole like, gambling aspect and the people that are like into that. But they're out there, and that's the thing. Like they
Totally. They're
exist, they're
out
gonna
there and it
want
is.
it, people are gonna sell it. And that's why it goes back to where I said, like, I see the good part, not the good part, but I see the positive in the sense of like why there are flippers and there's people that sell and resell, because there's still people that want it. So in order for them to keep wanting it and to get what they want, they need somebody who's going to sell it. So I see why this ecosystem of selling and reselling and all that exists. Like I
Yeah,
get
no,
that.
I do.
So it's just like do it, like do it the right way. Like if I got on Funko website and I got two pops that are exclusives and they end up being worth money, cool. I bought them. I could resell one because it's worth more money. That's it. But if I jumped in front of the line and you guys are waiting,
Yeah,
and they're like tossing me three because like I just happen to be there and I leave and then I sell the two, that's where I'm like, come on, like that's a little
exactly. And that's
too
what's
much.
really bothering me, because that's what's happening in the Funko NFT world. It just
Yeah.
is. Like there's so, like, most people I know who I'm actually friends with who do collect these, like, we're not getting the packs, or we get like a one, and it's just like it keeps happening, drop after drop, and it's like, why can't we just like have a chance? Like, I feel like, I know I'm maybe I'm now about it, like, I was lucky enough to get them. I've always found a way to get a pack or two one way or another, but it's upsetting how, like, it's really, so I know some people are going to stop wanting to even be excited about it, because it's
Yeah.
like, I'm not going to set myself up for this. I'm not going to waste my time. I'm not going to try to get them and then get frustrated that I don't. And I just don't think it should be that way. Like, I feel like when a big Funko exclusive, even back in the heyday when they would drop them, you felt like you had a decent chance to get to land one. And if you didn't, it sucked. But like, here, I feel like you're going into it now. Like, I've talked to some people, they're just like, I know I'm not going to get these. Why am I even trying? And it just
Yeah.
stinks that like it's turned into that.
Yeah. I've seen that a lot actually. There's a lot of people that are with that mindset and it's sad and that's like where it is, but I don't know if I see it changing. I mean, let us know if you guys,
Yeah.
what do you guys think about it? Comment if you guys are watching here on YouTube. Make sure to comment down and in our comments, let us know like your thoughts in general of NFTs. I feel like based off of our videos and our usual fans and normal fans, like we kind of have some people that are on the side and understand NFTs, like them. We do have fans and people I know that don't like NFTs, don't really believe in them or think anything of them, which we know that it's going to be split like that. But
Yep.
what are your thoughts just kind of like with the process and how the things have been dropping, or like, I don't know. I don't know if there's really a fix next necessarily, because like I said, they're still selling them. It's not like they need to find a way to sell them because they're not selling out. So they need to do something to spice it up. Like, no, these things are selling within minutes. They're getting their money at the end of the day, regardless, because they're setting a retail price for these packs, which obviously is getting them the money that they need. They don't care what they sell for after that, I'm sure. So that's pretty much just kind of like what I think
But
is gonna.
on a good note for NFTs, though, it was just the Nickelodeon redemption period started. And Megs, you got to redeem your first
First and only.
yeah. Yeah. First.
First and only redeemable. So like if you guys have been listening from the beginning, you know that we have generally gotten on and gotten at least every pack. I think there was one that we both missed and you were able to luckily get packs
Yeah.
afterwards. Also with the DC drop I missed, but then good friend Jeremy over at New and Old Funko Pop Boxes, he had an extra pack and I was able to buy it off of him. So like we were able to usually get a pack. And we've always been able to pull, our luck has been good, at least when we
It
get a
has.
pack. And you have pulled tons of redeemables throughout the time, for every pack. Nickelodeon was one of your most anticipated. I know you got a lot of packs and you didn't pull one, but I luckily kind of
It's the
kept our streak
only,
going. It's the
yes,
only
it
one
is.
you missed, and it's the only one I ever got. So it's kind of funny.
It
But
is.
yeah, I pulled the Hey Arnold one, which I wanted that one the most of any of them. So I was able to, on June 1st, actually officially was the redemption for the Nickelodeon ones, which they're shipping out in September. So it's like so insane. Like, have you even received any of your original ones
I
yet?
have not. It's so funny because like my cousin, who's one of our big fans, give Anthony a shout out. He just got Iron Maiden. Like, he had done
Yeah.
those and he just got those. And like, put it this way, we started getting into the NFTs with the Freddy Funko Halloween ones in
Yes. Halloween
October.
series.
So these were before that, and he's just getting them. So yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't gotten my Halloween one yet. Like, I pulled the
Yeah.
Mummy
The
Soda.
soda.
I
Yeah.
still don't have that.
Yeah, so we're still waiting for it, and it is a process. It tells you the estimated, so like estimated September for these. So then the Hey Arnold one, slimed one, whatever, that's one I'm looking for. So very excited because yeah, it's the only one I've ever pulled. And I'm excited just to get it because, like I said, that's what I mostly got into this for, was like to try to the thrill of trying to get a redeemable. And yeah, I'm kind of like around with my range of pulling them, because I think I've probably opened up less than 6 total packs, if not exactly 6, and I pulled my one chase, I'd say. So
And you
I'm like
pulled it
right
on
around my
on
range.
a standard pack,
Yeah,
which I
standard
think is harder
pack.
to do. I
Yeah,
know
standard
some
pack,
people
only 5
disagree.
cards. So like that was cool. I have gotten the random drops that they'll give you, like one, throw it
Oh yeah.
into your drop account. So I've gotten a few of those, like a pretty cool Freddy one recently. So like that has happened. They don't have too much crazy value, but like who knows, maybe eventually they will, because they are a little bit limited somewhat. But yeah, that's kind of like the to end this, I guess, on a positive note. We still will be, trying for these things. We're a fan of these things. Like every week that these are announced, or whatever, we're going to talk about them. We'd like to see like what's next. What's going to be the next one. Are they going to continue with some of these ad icons? Are they going to continue with like cereal stuff, like you said, General Mills? Are they going to do some more of these, or are they going to switch it up to something else? Maybe they'll do like, because I know with Funko they do this a lot. So maybe they'll do the like Hostess, or like snacks or something like that, like those icons maybe, or will they go back to WB and some
Yeah,
other
we should predict.
things like that?
What do you think the next drop will be?
Uh, I think there's a high chance that it'll be like a General Mills style, like something staying with what they're doing,
Okay.
or I think they go back to a Warner Brothers property. I think it's gonna be one of those two.
Yeah, I think it'll be. I'm gonna go Cartoon Network. I feel
Yeah,
like
which
we're in
would be,
the would be a Warner Brothers property.
yeah.
We're due for something just a little
And that would
different.
be
And
pretty big. That'd be like going back to like a bigger line, I would say. Like I think
yes,
that if they went with Cartoon Network, it would be one of those bigger, like the DC Nickelodeons of the world. So I could see them. I could see them doing that. But let us know what you guys think, because obviously there's many different things they can go. They can obviously go to a completely different route, but I guess we'll see. Probably within the next couple of weeks or something, we'll get some kind of announcement, because they do seem to be dropping pretty fast now.
yeah,
Even though I think it is like once every 4 weeks or whatever it is, but it seems like it's coming faster than we can think.
I agree.
Uh, but that'll be it for the NFT side of things. But like we said, make sure to comment down below. Let us know what you guys think and your thoughts in general. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the NFT side of stuff.